Welcome back to Coal Duster Garage. I'm Dan, this is Coal Duster Garage, and today we're going to be rebuilding the carburetor. What carburetor are we rebuilding and why? Well, this old guy here is a Carter AFB off of my newly acquired 1967 Buick LeSabre, which, check this out. Cool, you back? Yeah, it's off of that car. The car runs and drives right now. However, the accelerator pump discharge nozzle is gummed up, and I mean, I don't think this carburetor has ever been apart in its almost 60 years of existence. Come in close here, we'll get the disassembly done. Disassembly and cleaning is done now, so all we got to do is reassemble, and we'll get some beauty shots of the rebuilt carburetor after. Been a week. The carburetor has been done and rebuilt and ready to go on the car for about a week. So, what's up with the holdup? Well, this little steel shim here has a hole in it. Right here. Shouldn't be able to see me through that. So what does this little steel shim do? This is a heat baffle. So what this does is it sits on top of the intake manifold, and on the intake manifold it has two ports for exhaust gas to come up, circulate around part of this gasket here, right here. It's like a little horseshoe. Now, why does it do that? Now, those exhaust gases also heat the intake manifold itself, and the reason for that is better cold starts, as well as helping with fuel vaporization and atomization and blah, 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 blah. Here's the new one. Took a week to get here. Now, I could have just thrown an aftermarket intake on the car and called it a day, upgraded the carburetor, and been happy. Here's the cool thing. I can't do that. It's a Buick 340. It was made for 2 years, 1966 and 1967. There is zero aftermarket support in terms of performance. There's no heads, there's no intake manifold, so everything you need to do to that engine is stock replacement parts. But anyways, got the new baffle here, so this thing won't be eating its own waste, unlike, you know, modern cars with EGR and whatnot. So let's go throw the carburetor on, fire up the car, and see if that helps any. Gasket goes, baffle goes on. Alrighty. Hook up a vacuum line. Alrighty. She is now good to start. Gonna leave the air cleaner off to check for leaks and everything. Well, I need to hook up throttle linkage. Throttle linkage. There we go. Alrighty, might take her a little bit because there's zero fuel in that carburetor right now, but should fire up on its own.
A little while later. You get the idea.
All right, we'll give her a little bit of starting fluid to get her going, and we'll go from there. Okay, well, let's start disassembling. Something some way it's not supposed to. What's happening? Well, I forgot a spring there, so that's a problem. Alright, back on we go, because there's fuel there.
Even more boat building attempts later.
Go. Okay, now should start on its own. Not warm enough for fucking no choke, hey? So the car wasn't running well. In fact, it was barely idling, and that was due to a couple factors. We'll talk about that here in a second. But it's like a week later, the car runs now, so we'll go out there, start it up, take it for a test drive. It'll be cool. Why was the car running like shit? One, timing was off just enough to make it run like shit, despite the fact that, you know, before rebuilding the carburetor, it ran perfectly fine. So might have something to do with that. Two, I was supposed to trim some gaskets for the primary Venturis. I did not do that because I didn't know I had to, because I'm bad at reading directions. Reading is hard. So, because I'm lazy, the Carter AFB is, well, the Edelbrock, what is this, AVS? Yeah, I think this is an Edelbrock AVS. This carburetor is based on the one that's on the car. So a lot of the parts from this carburetor interchange with the one that is currently on the car. And I found that the Edelbrock primary Venturi gaskets work perfect. In fact, they work better than the ones I was sent in my rebuild kit. So now with that knowledge, just buy an Edelbrock rebuild kit if you have a Carter AFB and get a different top hat gasket, unless your Edelbrock rebuild kit comes with the right one, then, you know, whatever, you'll be good. But let's head out there, get the car started up, take it on a little test drive, and we will close this video out shortly. She's a little cold, and I think the timing's set a little bit too high, so she's a little unhappy, but let her warm up and she'll be happy. So I'm just gonna let it sit and do its thing for a little bit. Alrighty, so we are in the car. I don't know how well you guys can hear me because this thing is loud. Now, with the carburetor rebuilt, I have some more work to do to the car because it runs good, drives alright for now. Still a little unhappy, but we can fix all that. And it has a coolant leak, and you know, I don't particularly trust these intake manifold gaskets because I don't think they've ever been replaced, which seems to be the case with a lot of the stuff on this car. And, you know, once you get it going, it's actually a pretty good, quiet little cruiser. The big issue stems from when you really lay the hammer down and get into it. It gets quite loud, quite quick. Another issue that this car has, and it's nothing to do with the car itself or the way anything works, this has a switch pitch transmission in it. The Super Turbine 400, which is a derivative of the TH 400. Now, why is that a problem? Well, no one makes aftermarket switch pitch actuator switches, you know, whatever. This car also doesn't have any sort of kickdown switch on it, because your switch pitch, kick down, and I think it's an AC micro switch to increase the idle or something. That is all, well, not the micro switch. The micro switch is on its own thing, but the kick down and the switch pitch are all on the same actuator, and the one on this car is broken. So I don't get the cool high stall, low stall mode. I just get whatever mode it's in, which I do believe is high stall. Or maybe it's low stall. I don't know. But I have things to fix, and we will be doing that in the next episode of Coal Duster Garage. So if you want to see more of this boat, come back. Check it out.